Hello friends! Today we have a special blindfolded speedrun to showcase, because recently I've started routing blindfolded Mario Kart 64, with the category being the Mushroom Cup. As you can see here, we go right into action. I will talk in this video a bit about the whole routing process, how it all worked, and how I managed to actually beat this. Because this was a project I started literally as a challenge for my Twitch stream, and the goal was just finish a run of the Mushroom Cup, and I went into this without any prior practice, any knowledge of the game, so we routed everything from scratch. And this is the very first result. This is the first completed run of this category. And let me first of all talk a bit about the techniques that we use here. As you can see right now, at least, walls are going to be extremely important. Walls help us to find out where we are and which angle we have especially. Second big thing is the ground types. As you can see right now, for example, I'm driving in grass, before in sand. And sand and grass make different kind of sounds. So you can, if you know the map layout, you can adjust based on the type of ground you're at. So if you know that always on the left side is ground, always if in the right side is grass, then you can make like setups. Now I want to talk about this right here. This is the grass strat, or the famous tunnel entry, because every stage has kind of one major difficulty how to traverse. And in this one here, Luigi's raceway, it's this entry of the tunnel, because there is if you don't hit the tunnel directly, you get stuck in a corner and it's extremely difficult to back up. So what we have come up with is a consistent strat to actually enter it by using the hill on the right side, which is like the grass covered area basically. This grass covered area is, as I said, a hill. And if you go with enough speed onto that grass, you will, with like 95% chance, end up in the tunnel because you get pushed inside there, no matter what angle you have. And that's extremely important, because we can basically, as long as we stay too far to the right, we will always end up correctly inside the tunnel, which is the most difficult part of the stage. Because the stage is fairly simple, as you can see, it's just like a few turns, mostly in one direction even. So I think this is probably the easiest stage.
Why am I stuck? What the hell?
Here you can see me getting stuck on a wall, which is always very difficult to fix, but thankfully there is the reverse sign. The Lucky 2 with the reverse sign tells you if you're driving into the wrong direction, and if this would not be a feature, then this whole run would be extremely difficult. Because if you get turned around by accident and then drive the wrong way, it's very bad. But yeah, I get stuck here a lot. This is not a clean raceway at all. I have also done more attempts at this point of this category. And yeah, we golded this track by a lot next time. So I just wanted to upload the first completion as it is something special. And I will definitely continue grinding this now for a better time too. But yeah, we found back on track, used the walls, and then used the grass strat. Let's take a look here at the grass strat, if it works and how it works. So you can see I'm not turning too much here to the left. I want to have an angle. Boom, grass strats. And this was actually a fairly, you can see the cart got like pushed exactly onto the seam from the grass and the road. And this is exactly why this strat is so powerful and useful. But yeah, really clean turns here, and now we just need to do one last turn. What I do is I beat count the up left inputs. Up left and not specifically left, because up left has a lesser, like a smaller degree of angle turn. We found out, like if you hold straight left, then it turns you much faster, which is not preferable in blindfolded. We want rather like light turns.
Take it.
But yeah, 50-second first lap and then 2-minute last lap, pretty slow. Quickly need to menu now to the next map. Oh yeah, also we play the time trials, not the Grand Prix, because yeah, items and other characters are difficult. Now I want you to focus on the beginning here, because every beginning I do a quick start, and I start every track with a beat count. So you can see me always the first few laps, the first few turns inside the track will be super clean. Also in Luigi's Raceway already. You can see this was like super clean movement right here. This is because in the beginning of the track we are still normalized.
I think we passed perfectly.
The beats in this game are very countable.
That was very good.
So what I do is I basically use a beat count from the very beginning for the first few turns, because I know that I can make them consistently, and then the more I go further into the track, the more unnormalized I get, basically. Like, it desyncs from my strat. And like this we can at least do like a few good turns, and then we kind of have to rely on the other backup strats that we have. So mostly Mario Kart 64 is knowing the map layout. Like, so far, at least, as I said, it was only one day of routing, but I've learned a lot already from this game. So far, what seems very important is knowing the map layout, when which turn is coming up, like when you have to hold left, when you have to hold right, etc. And it's very important to have a certain set of strats that you can apply to the certain situations you are in. So, for example, right here, you know there's this tunnel.
Oh, I knew something was off, dude.
Based on approximately where you are towards this tunnel, you need to, for example, input upright a bit more, a bit less. And other than that, the last resort is using the walls to just somehow feel it out. But it is definitely possible to do very fast strats, actually. Like, I got Moo Ranch, I think, in my second run in like 3 minutes or so, like each track 1 minute, so it's extremely fast. And not even 1 minute, like 50 seconds, 40 seconds. It can definitely be done very quickly. Also, we haven't talked about the mushrooms yet. I have not used them here by accident. Usually I would use 1 mushroom per lap. Also, this bridge has another corner of doom, as I would like to call it. Like, you can get stuck at the bridge. That's why it's very important to kind of use it as a checkpoint and just pass it somehow. As long as you pass it, you are like safe.
What's this?
Here I got stuck at like this weird hill, and I don't know where I am. I'm trying to figure out, but I'm getting kind of pushed back.
Oh, what's this?
Don't know what exactly happening. I'm trying to jump, because jumping, you cannot turn when you are stationary. You have to turn while driving or while jumping. So here I jumped out to the right and it worked. But yeah, mushrooms I usually use like either 1 each turn just for speed, or in like certain situations where I know it can be beneficial. Like in Luigi's Raceway, you could see it, I always used it at the very end, because it can help me to boost through grass.
Last lap was very bad, but the first
in Moomoo's Ranch, it's not very important. Moomoo's Ranch is extremely easy. I think it's the easiest map of the entire game, honestly. And the mushrooms would be just used for speed, but they can also mess you up. So now, Koopa Troopa Beach, the most difficult stage so far out of this cup. This one has interesting aspects. Basically, the whole map layout is set up like this, that if you go too far left, you will hit rocks. If you go too far right, you will hit water.
As I said, I learned. I got better.
This was very clean so far. Like, you can see me driving super cleanly through the map. The problem is, if you go too far out of the water, you can see right now, you get voided out, and it loses lots of time. Now, this has good and bad implications. The good implications is it renormalizes you onto the track. Like, he puts you back down, and you can always just drive forward and basically void again. And with this, it would, in theory, be possible to beat this entire stage without inputting any direction.
Dude.
You can just hold A, and you will reach the end, definitely. Now, this is the easy way, but it's very slow, of course. Now, what's the difficult way is, the difficulty about the water is, you can hear when Toad's head gets submerged by water. And I, in my speedrun, use this to determine that I need to like readjust further to the left, like right here. You can see I got submerged, and then I readjusted left, so I get out of the water, and then I could like continue going straight without getting voided. And this is very useful, because we can basically circle the entire track with just adjusting with this water. Now, the big problem, as I said, is there are waves and tides. So sometimes the water is higher, sometimes the water is lower. And that means that sometimes Toad will not make the sound effect that he's underwater and just instantly voids because there was a low tide, you were driving out in the open and just suddenly the water is above your head and yeah, you get voided. But here, very clean so far. Like, generally speaking, I've learned a lot about this stage and it's definitely still improvable, but I think I should stay more to the left, like to the mountain area and not so much in the water. Staying in the water is definitely faster, but I think you need to find the right balance between those two to make a good lap. This is definitely the map that is optimized the least yet.
I needed to reset there, I got stuck somewhere.
We lose always lots of time during attempts. And this is also the most challenging, as I said, so it will be a matter of time until this gets, like, better. But yeah, the Lucky 2 renormalizing is a very, very nice tool. I should also, like here, you can see me, that was, for example, as I said, a low tide void out. So I just drove straight forward and I could not hear that I'm underwater, but he still voided me. What I will improve in this stage is I need to hold more and earlier to the left before I hit water. Because very often I noticed is that I void out, or I turn way too late. I turn way too late. Also here I turn around right in front of the goal, which is super, super stupid. And the problem is also the reverse sign has the exact same sound as the void out. But what I do is I can test this with jumping. If I jump with the car, it means I'm reverse, because if I cannot jump, it means I'm getting fished back out.
Got turned around somehow.
So yeah, what I basically want to do to improve this track is I need to not just drive straight until I hit water and then go left, but I need to constantly... Oh my god, I turned around again. I need to constantly do like tiny left taps to stay on a like circular path. And even if I go too far left, we can always readjust from the mountains.
Is it not the end of the lap? Where am I?
But yeah, very, very bad lap. Close to a 3-minute lap. That is insanely bad. The ending was very rough there, and still we have the third one. Difficult. This map in general is just so difficult and so like it's so easy to mess up, and then once you mess up, it's so easy to keep messing up. Like you can see me here. The more I get voided out, the more I don't know where exactly I am, because this game works also like this. There are like certain types of checkpoints. So if you void out in a certain part of the map, Lucky 2 will put you back into always a certain position.
Like, I'm not even in the water,
now,
and he already
in Mario Kart 64, the unfortunate thing is that these checkpoints are extremely frequent. That means that there are like hundreds of checkpoints on each map, which basically makes you definitely not know where you will respawn. So it doesn't really do anything, to be honest, for Blindfolded. We just need to feel it out. Here was a very good left turn. You could see I like drifted super nicely through the water and went back to the land. This is exactly how it should look like. Like, hit the water, readjust left, hit the water, readjust left, and then continue the path. This was super clean ending here. Very happy about this one. And then as soon as you hit the mountains, you know you're too far left, so you need to readjust to the right, and then you should be able to fix it. Collision sometimes is weird,
stuck here.
But this should work out. There was a 1 minute 30.
That was good. That last round,
as you can see, second lap
dude.
Was pretty bad, but first and last was okay.
Good. The middle one was bad.
Definitely improvable, but that was Koopa Troopa Beach. Now to the last track of this speedrun, Kalimari Desert.
This should sub 30.
This one is scary. This track is not the hardest, but it is extremely scary because you can softlock. And right here in the beginning, it already starts. We basically want to, on purpose, drive off-road all the time. We want to be too far to the right of the track, because there is this train crossing right here. And we need to hit the fence. That was extremely close. We need to hit the fence and get voided out here, because this checkpoint is consistent right in front of the tracks.
Should be close, maybe.
We cross the tracks and then turn to the right for 1.5 beats, or like for 1-2 beats. And then we keep this angle. It's very slow, but we keep this angle to pass the second intersection, and then we are safe for this round.
Okay,
the problem is you can basically enter the rail tracks, and if you enter the rail tracks, you can potentially get stuck in this loop because there are only like 2 tiny doors where you can exit. And there is no way to void out. There is no way to know where you are. You get stuck by the walls, you can get stuck in the tunnel, and it's quite literally a blindfolded softlock. Other than that, this track is quite easy. Like the track is very straightforward, actually. As you can see me here, I'm readjusting a bit too much, but like you reach the goal fairly easily afterwards. There's a long straight. Also, the off-road doesn't slow you down much, so you're very fast still, even off-road.
Nice.
And basically, just need to make sure that you 100% safely cross this intersection, because that is an extremely scary part. That's exactly where my second attempt died.
What they don't know is if
I was on a 16-minute pace. Like I had a very good run with a pace of 16 minutes, and then I got softlocked here in the train tracks, and I lost like 4 minutes just in one lap because of that.
Okay,
so it can definitely kill a run as soon as you enter. So you need to be very careful. Here, very clean. Again, perfectly
we passed
the second intersection, and then we just continue our way here.
Second round.
Always going left because it's a big left curve, and then it's like a big left curve. Then comes the big straight. I like to call it this here. It's like a big path of just straight forward.
Straight angle.
And here I could actually I readjusted to the right always because there is this right turn, but now that I saw it like with eyes, this is also the first time I'm watching this, by the way. Now that I saw how it played out, I should probably just go further straight there and use the mushroom to boost
on the right
through
side
all
of the
the
track, so I can do
off-road
without avoiding.
So also definitely improvable. I think we can definitely make this still faster, but the general strat is fixed for sure. Like stay off-road, drive tiny bit to the left always, void out in front of the train here to reposition yourself to be safe, and then oh god, that was very close again. Then do the beat count here to the right, so you have the correct angle.
How far away I am from it.
Train.
Wait for the train.
Literally casual driver waiting for the train, and continue. Yeah, this game has also very good audio design, by the way. I haven't talked about it much, but it has pretty good stereo sound too. So, for example, in Koopa Troopa Beach, there is like a waterfall at some point, and you can really hear when it passes on your left side, for example.
Okay, the train
so
didn't matter.
the stereo sound is pretty good.
GG.
And here we cross the third intersection, so the run is safe at this point. We just need to slowly get into the goal now. And again, here, I could just hold straight and I would reach the goal super nicely.
That's the big straight.
Yeah, I will definitely rework this strat a tiny bit. And that is time 18:01 it was, I think.
Whoa, sub 20! Let's
Very
go!
world first,
Dude,
blindfolded Mario Kart 64
GG.
Mushroom Cup speedrun in 18 minutes. And
Mocha.
yeah, I had lots of fun with this.
GG,
I
well played.
want to kind of announce that I will definitely do an all cups run. Like I want to do all the stages, like a full game clear.
That was good, right?
I had so extremely much fun to route this, and it was such a unique experience because I've never done a blindfolded racing game so far.
GG's, thanks for the GG's.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was
Almost
much more
entered the
enjoyable than I
track
thought. Like many people, including me, thought like Mario Kart blindfolded, it sounds so impossible, that's probably not gonna happen. But the more experience I gather with blindfolded speedrunning, the more I think like kind of everything is doable, but we will see like how well. Anyways, thank you very, very much for watching today, and hope you are looking forward to more blindfolded speedruns. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Leave a subscription and a comment, and see you around.
Nice.
Bye bye. Hey, if you liked this video, please go ahead and check out my Patreon page. I have many cool perks there, and it would support me in making more blindfolded speedruns in the future. This video is sponsored by Benlitz, Bob Farrell, Boris, Funkylicious, ZXMany, VR4300, and Kevin. Thank you all so much.